Plains Indian Wars by John Panevsky, How to Play video number 6. We're going to cover event cards. And there are 4 factions with event cards. The green, Northern Plains tribe. The orange, Southern Plains tribes. We have the Cavalry. And we have the settlers. The wagons don't have a card deck. The railroads do not have a card deck. And purple does not have a card deck. So let's start with the Northern Plains. And we'll do these event cards in the order that they're numbered. So number 1 is Sitting Bull, and there's a correction on here. It says play before any war party card or the cavalry disc. That's a mistake. It should, instead of or, it should read and. Play before any war party card and before a cavalry disc is drawn. And when you just grab 4 cubes from your ready box, and you add them to one northern region. Now that region can be enemy controlled. So grab 4 discs from the ready box, and we can put them here. We can put them here. We can put them here. And the only other stipulation this card says, cavalry must be attacked this northern player's turn. Okay, simple enough. Now, of course, event cards you can play up to 2 from your hand. If you have 3, one of those are going to have to be played as a war party card, or a what we call activation movement card. Okay, card number 2. I'm talking about the Northern Plains tribe. It's Wovoka. Play before any war party card. Clear enough. Add 1 Northern Plains cube to 5 control NPT regions. No engagements are allowed this turn. So you're not going to be fighting, but it's a good way to get 5 cubes out. And you have to put them in control area. This is controlled. This is controlled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's blank. That's considered control. You can put them there. Simple enough. Card number 3, Red Cloud. Add 3 Northern Plains Treaty or Tribe cubes to 1 NPT region. All right, so we're getting 3. And it can go to any region occupied or unoccupied by the enemy. Get these out of here. And what else does it say? So settlers roll only 1 die in any engagements for the remainder of this draw. So you want to use this in an engagement that are involving settlers in the Northern Territory. So let's say we had something like this scenario. A lot of settlers out here trying to build a railroad. Red Cloud's a good card to play to hit these guys up. All right. And this is an enduring card. See this for the remainder of the disc draw? That means you play this turn, it's in effect throughout. It's in effect throughout. So you may have orange cubes up here, and they could use this card. Settlers roll only 1 die, not 2 if there's more than 1. Card number 4, Roman nose. Add 2 Northern Plains tribe cubes in 1 Northern Plains tribe region. Okay, very simple. Ignore all retreat and treaty symbols for the remainder of the disc draw. So not just this turn, but through all the entire 7 disc draw in the end. Those that come after this card and those that come afterwards. And this is a one if you want to just fight it out. There's no retreat, there's no treaty. The only ones are leaving are the ones that survive. I mean, the only ones that survive are the ones that aren't killed off. So, card number 5, Black Kettle. Play before the war party card, but after a cavalry disc. Okay, very specific here. And wait for the cavalry disc to be drawn, then you can play this. And a war party card, of course, would look like this. So you play this, you add your cubes. You can have 3 groups you're going to activate and move, and then you play this one. Oh, I'm sorry, it says play before a war party card. Okay, but after the cavalry disc. Stand corrected. So you play this first, and then this will be next. And you're adding 1 cube to 3 control regions. Treaty symbols are considered hits for the remainder of the disc draw. Again, not just this turn, but any anytime that green cubes are involved in an engagement or an ambush, then that treaty symbol will count as a hit. Good card. And we have number 8, dull knife. Nope, that's not anything. That's a war party card. Okay, so we're done with these. Let's look at Southern Plains Indian cards. The first one is Coups. This is maybe a little bit confusing. It says play before cavalry disc is drawn. Okay, clear enough. Add 3 cubes to 1 SPT region. All right. And it could be occupied. It could be of the enemy, or it could be blank, but it has to be in the orange region. Cavalry rolls only 1 die in an SPT region for the remainder of this draw. This is an enduring card. Now, what you do with enduring cards, you don't discard them after played. You keep them out on the board, on the side of the board. You only discard it after all discs have been drawn and played. Then you discard it. Number 2, Geronimo. Make an ambush attacks on 2 adjacent SPT regions with an SPT force located in one of the regions. Treaty symbols act as hits, then retreat to Mexico. Okay, the designer kind of clarified this. The best scenario would be, for instance, let's say these guys here could ambush 2 adjacent regions, here or here. And that means they get a free shot, 1 ambush roll against them, ambush roll against these guys. They're 2 adjacent to this one. And then afterwards, anybody participating, anybody in here will go to Mexico, which is kind of a free area. Cavalry and settlers can't go here, but you can actually have purple and orange coexisting. So that's a Geronimo card. And there's some blocks discussing this card in more detail. Okay, card number 3, Quanah Parker. Play before the settler disc is drawn. Add 3 cubes to 1 of the southern regions. Settlers roll 1 die in the SPT region for the remainder of the disc draw. Okay, that is an enduring card. Keep this out. Don't discard it until all discs have been drawn and played. Number 14, Mangus Coronado. Add 2 SPT cubes to 1 SPT region. Clear enough. The remainder of this disc draw, the first battle round, settlers do not defend. So you want to attack settlers. Get this out. All right, correction on this one, card number 15, losing card, add up to 2 SPT cubes to 1. It should read SPT region, not STP region. The attacker's treaty symbols cause hits in 1 battle. Very powerful card. You're strengthening your attack. Use it if you're going to engage. All right. And we'll go ahead and finish this up. We're at about 8 minutes, 30 seconds. This is the blue Cavalry deck, and these are their event cards. If this card comes up in the initial setup or refilling your hand, at any time you play it immediately, and then once it's played and done, discard it and then draw up to your 3 hands. So it's the only card like this, play immediately. And it says put 4 blue cubes in a region with the most MPT cubes. And if tied, then your opponent, the Indian player, gets to choose. Resolve engagements before continuing. So this is one that you want to get done before you do anything else. And then the Cavalry's only rolling 1 die. So this is a bad card it's a bad card to have drawn, but you're forced to do it. So you go to your ready box. If you have 4, grab them. We'll look in the northern areas, and this has 4, so it's a very simple decision. They're going to come here, 4, and we're going to have an engagement. And again, this is troubling because under the rules, if for every 2 cubes that are lost, that's going to be 1 victory points for the Indians. And so there's a possible losing 2 here, and you didn't plan it, you didn't have the ability to bring in settlers, whatever. So you're forced to fight a big engagement. Now, maybe you can luckily roll blanks or treaties. Treaties, the engagement within, and you decide that, or blanks, you can kind of skedaddle out of there. One blank for one. But that's the Custer card. That's number one. Number two is Crook. Play before a Southern Plains tribe disc is drawn. Add 4 cubes to one enemy occupied. So you have to put it in an enemy occupied region, or you can't play it. And the defender rolls no defense for the first round of combat. All right, it's clear enough. Sheridan. Play before the Northern Plain tribe disc is drawn. Add 4 cubes to one enemy occupied. That's key. Got to be enemy occupied. Northern Plains tribe region. The defender rolls no defense in the first round of combat. Okay, that's a good engagement card to play. Card number 4 for the Cavalry is number 14. Card number 14 actually. Nelson Miles. Play in the Southern Plains area or South Purple region. Ignore treaty symbols. Indian cubes. Roll no more than 2 dice. Move 2 of the Southern Plains tribes casualties from the game. Okay, so you remove them from the game. They don't go back in the casualty box. All right, and let's see, Plenty Coups should be the opposite. Play in the northern area, Northern Purple or Northern Plains area. Ignore treaty symbols. Indian cubes. Roll no more than 2 dice. Okay, this is a situation, both Nelson Miles and Plenty Coups. When it says no more than 2 dice, what can happen is where you have both, here we go, orange and green cubes together. And so in this situation, I'll just grab some forces, all right? The Indians are rolling 4 dice. So you want to place in that area one of these, well, this would be the northern, and this would be for southern territory, limiting the Indians to only no more than 2 dice. Okay, that's what these 2 cards refer to. All right, now, finally, the Settlers faction, the brown cards. Now, the Settlers combat dice is pretty weak. They're there for purpose of building the railroads and maybe being soak-off casualties for the cavalry, because the cavalry are harder to come by. But their cards, I have to say, are the most powerful in the game. So use their event cards wisely. Let's go through them. So settler card number 1 is called Central Pacific Railroad. Place 2 brown cubes in the Sacramento box and 2 black cubes in the mountain. It's very hard to build the mountain. You don't have that many symbols. You got to roll to get the mountain space filled. And so this one gives you 2 right off the bat. It helps you build that Sacramento section. So row, let's see, railroad spaces if 1's available. So basically what you're doing is we're getting 2 brown cubes and free Sacramento. And if this was not built or partially built, you get to put 2 free cubes here. Very good, powerful card. All right, Central Pacific Railroad. Card number 2, James Beckworth. No engagements against the wagon trains for the remainder of the current disc draw. Okay, wagon train is white, white, white. So there can be no attacks against these guys, not just for Brown Settler's turn, but for the remainder, from the Browns' turn until this turn is finished. All 7 discs are drawn and played out. That's an enduring card. Do not discard this. Leave it out on the table or on the side of the table, and once all 7 discs have been drawn and played, then discard it. Enduring. Number 3, the Union Pacific Railroad. No engagements against regions adjacent to either railhead for the remainder of the current disc draw. Okay, so Indians are trying to stop you from building the railroad, Plains Indians, that is. And if you're a U.S. player, you're trying to get it completed. So here's a scenario where the Sacramento line is being built out of the mountains, and then the St. Louis line's coming this way. So if you play this Union Pacific card, you cannot have engagements in regions adjacent to the railhead on either end. So this is, just to make it clear, no fighting here or here or here or here. Not just for this Brown's turn, but for the current disc draw, remainder of the current disc draw, till all 7 discs are drawn and played. Keep this out, then discard it. Settlers card number 4, the Black Hills go. Place 2 blue and 3 brown cubes in the Black Hills. If necessary, resolve an engagement. Okay, so here's the Black Hills. It's gonna be worth, we had fighting historically around here. So following this card, we are going to take 2 blue from the ready box and 3 brown, and we're going to put them in the Black Hills to seize this region, and we're going to conduct an engagement. Card number 5, Buffalo Bill Cody removes 2 northern and 2 southern Plains tribe cubes from the map. Remove these from the game. So look around the board. Let me just kind of clean this up a little bit first. All right, because these engagements would not be taking place. And we say, oh my goodness. Well, we got 2 here. Hey, let's get these 4 out the way. Or let's take this one green, these 2 green, and let's take these 2. And they don't go back in the casualty. They're out of the game. So that's going to kind of maybe create a little shortage to them later. Last card, last event card, number 6 for the Settlers, Little Blue River Raid. Remove 2, the Indian Casualty Box, 1 Indian cube each from 2 regions adjacent to a region in which settler cubes were just lost. Okay, little tricky. Let's see if I could maybe set that up. I kind of remove some things around. So let's maybe do this. Okay, and it's Settlers' turn. They're going to come in. They're going to move these 4 cubes into this region. You can go ahead and bring some cavalry, influence movement, conduct an engagement, and during that engagement, okay, 2 happens to have 2 of the cubes were eliminated. And go to the casualty box. Okay, and this card is sitting on the board. You played it, and it says remove to the Indian Casualty Box 1 Indian cube each from 2 regions adjacent to a region in which 2 settler cubes were just lost. So this engagement ended one way or the other. Okay, retreat. Let's say these guys ended up treaty and being moved out, but 2 were killed here. All right, and so adjacent to this region where they were lost are these. You can move up to 1 Indian cube each from 2 regions. So you take this one and this one, for example. And that's the card. I think I covered them all. Any questions, you can tell me in the comment section. Thank you for viewing.